Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to be having a look at foreshadowing, what foreshadowing is, how foreshadowing appears in different books, and just really unpacking this literary device. So, in a nutshell, foreshadowing is hinting at a future event in a novel or movie usually. Now this future event might be a positive one, like a marriage or a proposal, or it might be a negative one, a bad event that's about to happen. Authors or directors often use this to build tension. Good readers will notice that something is coming and try to think or predict about what it could be. Foreshadowing can also be used simply to entertain the audience and add another layer of the entertainment. Okay, so let's have a look at some foreshadowing examples. To start with, we'll be having a look at Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, written by J.K. Rowling. Now, this book begins with a passage like this. Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive were proud to say that they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much. They were the last people you'd expect to be involved in anything strange or mysterious because they just didn't hold with such nonsense. Now, this is foreshadowing that we can kind of get the hint that Mr. and Mrs. Dursley are about to be in for a surprise. Something strange or mysterious is going to happen in their life. So this foreshadowing example is adding to the entertainment of the novel. It's adding some interesting elements and it's adding to the characterization of Mr. and Mrs. Dursley. So, foreshadowing can happen at the beginning of a text, but it can also happen throughout and during the text. An example of this is Harry's scar. Throughout the series, Harry's scar starts hurting at different points, and it begins to foreshadow coming doom or something negative that's about to happen. One of the first times we experience this is the following quotation. It happened very suddenly. The hook-nosed teacher looked past Quirrell's turban, straight into Harry's eyes, and sharp, hot pain shot across the scar on Harry's forehead. So, now this is a different type of foreshadowing because it's more subtly hinting at what might be happening in the future. It's more subtle and it's kind of building tension throughout the novel. Okay, so J.K. Rowling does use a lot of foreshadowing in her novel, as do a lot of authors. So we're going to have a look at a second text that's called Runner and written by Robert Newton. And I really enjoy the foreshadowing in this because it's quite clear and explicit, but it doesn't really point out too much what is going to happen. That day, I recall, was the start of the rain. Overnight, the huge, menacing clouds thundered into town and set up camp above the city. In the morning, while my baby brother slept, Ma and I stood on the front porch, gazing up at the dirty black sky. Next door, too, our old neighbour, Cecil Redmond, had his eyes raised skyward. Now, I find this foreshadowing really beautiful to begin a novel with because it hints that something is about to happen. I really like the phrase that it was the start of the rain. This is the beginning of a new event, of a new chapter, of something happening, and the huge menacing clouds thundering in. I really like that the main character's baby brother is sleeping because the story doesn't really revolve around him. Conversely, Ma and I were standing there staring, and the novel does really centre around the main character, his mum, and a few other characters as well. So this is a good example of how a novel can begin with a really strong sense of foreshadowing. I hope that this video has helped you kind of understand what foreshadowing is a little bit so that you can either identify it or use it in your own writing. Good luck.